when I broke up with my ex-fiance, I realized that I needed help, that I couldn't just handle those emotions and the burden of that alone. And so at 1 a.m, I ended up calling my parents. My mom answered the phone, and I'm very thankful for that at that time of night. But I know she was probably freaking out when she saw me call her, but I had to talk to somebody. And it's in those moments that, yeah, you realize you need help, but it is also a lot of moments in life that we carry with us heavy struggles, heavy challenges. And a lot of people can isolate themselves. I think a lot of young men really struggle with this because of the idea that vulnerability can be a sign of weakness, and the problems that we experience are simply a burden to other people if we feel like we have to vent or cry or express frustration. And I'm guilty of this big time. I think after that initial shock and feeling of my breakup, of like not wanting to eat, not wanting to sleep, like not wanting to function normally as a human, because I'm so, like I said, shocked and dumbfounded and trying to adapt to this sudden change. It was very difficult. And so after that kind of settled in a little bit and I was over it, of course, there's still a lot of numbness, there's still a lot of pain and suffering, as there is now. It's been a little over a month. But because it's not as intense, my initial reaction is still to isolate. I don't want to talk to my parents that much or talk to my friends that much because of how much I've expressed to them already. And it feels almost, like I said, that burdensome feeling when I need somewhere to go. And as a result, we find ways to cope. We have to have areas to express these feelings, express what's going on. And coping is something that can be very common, right? I have gone to porn once in the last week, which is a huge detriment to why my relationship ended. And I feel really bad about that. I have been coping with fantasy football a lot, which, hey man, like I deserve an area in my life to enjoy feeling like a boy sometimes, like a little kid sometimes. And I don't want to feel shame around intimacy, which is something I have feared for so long. But that human connection, whether it's physical or emotional, is how we thrive as human beings. We need that sociability, the interaction, like I said, the intimacy. And I've always ran from it. I've always had a hard time accepting myself as a human when it comes to sexual urges and needs, bodily needs. I'm not talking about like eating and drinking water, but more so like lust, feeling attracted in that way to somebody. It's like I feel repulsive about it for some reason, which I shouldn't. I shouldn't be that. I shouldn't feel that way, or I shouldn't be shameful about it. But this is an ingrained reality, an ingrained way of viewing these things that I learned somewhere throughout my childhood and as I grew older. A lot of these things I've realized through actually my therapy sessions. Again, something that is not always viewed in the best light for young men or anybody to try, but I really think it's important, and it's helped me a lot. It's helped me understand more about myself and why I do the things that I do. And especially now, it's much easier to isolate because it's not like we're laying in our room and staring at the ceiling. We're laying in our room and in this entire world of a phone. We can look up anything we want. We can watch anything we want, doom scroll, and just disassociate so easily. And that is why it's more common to disassociate, because you would drive yourself crazy if you were sitting in your own room and all you had were books and silence. So it's this fake and filtered version of reality when you're on your phone and looking at social media, and so many people, and even sometimes me too, because I'm on social media and I'm on my phone, have an almost distorted view of reality. So I encourage you to get out more, to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. I definitely know that I need to do that, specifically socially. I'm not looking for a relationship right now, of course. Like, I just got out of a 2.5-year relationship. We got engaged. We lived together for 2 years. Like, there's a lot that I still need to bear. And the idea of loving someone else in that way is still not something I'm prepared for. With that being said, I don't think it's fair to close myself off to that or to any social opportunities, in whatever capacity that might be. Because the one thing that has helped me through this time, and emotionally, the most challenging time of my life, I thought I was going to marry this person and live with her forever. But what's helped me the most to get through this has been people, friends, family, my support system. And I don't know how I would have handled all of this if I didn't have them. Like I said, I might not have, I'm not gonna say I wouldn't have been able to get through it. I've never been someone who has latched onto, self-harm type of thoughts, but I do believe I could have self-sabotaged and really gone full-fledged into those bad habits. Like I mentioned, porn is one of them. But like doom scrolling, not working out, things that just were toxic and would make things worse in the long run. You got to be there for yourself. Deep down, we all want human connection. It's just an ingrained part of us. And as an only child myself, I am definitely more self-reliant, I would say, than a good amount of people. However, I still get lonely, and not being there with my ex, not, seeing her, not being able to fall asleep with her, not being able to just love her, I have felt very lonely. And those feelings of loneliness have been something I've kind of tucked away from people recently, because it's not as drastic of a pain and suffering as it was when she initially broke up with me. So I think, it's not a big deal, but no, it is. And if I don't acknowledge it and confront it, then yeah, I am going to go back to those bad habits. And so it's important that I lean on people that I need to, for support, for understanding. I have other people in my life that have gone through a breakup this year, and talking to them, it's very relatable. It's as hard as it is to see them go through it. It does remind you that you aren't alone. And when you don't isolate yourself from the world and from the people closest to you, you realize how connected all of us are. We're human, man, and that's all you are. You're not alien. You're not different. You're not weird. It's not like you don't belong just because you have certain feelings or questions, just because you might be questioning your decisions, your morality. You might be struggling with any type of feelings, like worthlessness, purposelessness, whatever it is. You're the farthest thing from alone. And so, yeah, get out of your comfort zone by speaking about it, leaning on the people around you. And I'm telling you, it's going to help. So that's what I want to start doing, and that's why I'm making this video. And yeah, also want to say thanks to anyone who listens to these, watches these, just kind of like on my drive home from work. I'm trying to make them on Mondays consistently. It's been nice. It's been really nice to come here too. And so yeah, I'm gonna work on it, and I encourage you to do the same. Thank you guys for tuning in. Much love, good vibes, and peace.